Is the only thing plants do is photosynthesis? No. They do respiration too. It has three main steps. First one is glycolysis. After glycolysis, the next step is TCA cycle. Next to the TCA cycle, ETC cycle will occur. So let's see what will happen in these steps. Glycolysis breaks down glucose, and forms pyruvate with the production of two molecules of ADP. The pyruvate end product of glycolysis can be used in either anaerobic respiration, if no oxygen is available, or in aerobic respiration via the TCA cycle, which yields much more usable energy for the cell. The tricarboxylic acid cycle or TCA cycle is a series of enzyme-catalyzed chemical reactions that form a key part of aerobic respiration in cells. This cycle is also called the Krebs cycle and the citric acid cycle. In eukaryotic cells, citric acid cycle occurs in matrix of the mitochondria. In prokaryotic cells it occurs in cytosol. The primary substrate for the TCA cycle is pyruvate, which was produced in glycolysis. This pyruvate get converted to acetyl-CoA simultaneously. NADH molecule and one carbon dioxide molecule will produced. This acetyl-CoA will connect with oxalostate and form citrate. Formed citrate will convert into isocitrate. It will remove one carbon molecule as carbon dioxide and will produce alpha-ketoglycerate. And one NADH molecule will release. This will convert to succinyl-CoA by producing one carbon dioxide and NADH. Succinyl-CoA will convert into succinate by producing one GTP. It will convert into fumarate by producing one FADH2. That will form malate. It will convert to oxalostate. Oxalostate will combine with acetyl-CoA and cycle will continue. ETC is a series of compounds that transfer electrons from electron donors to electron acceptors via redox reactions. In mitochondria inner membrane there are bunch of protein complexes. Major ones are known as complex 1 or NADH dehydrogenase, complex 2 or succinate dehydrogenase, complex 3 cytochrome C reductase, complex 4 or cytochrome C oxidase. The factors involved in the ETC cycle are coenzyme Q10 and cytochrome C complex. The other large protein complex involved is ADP synthetase. It is the complex that makes ADP. The other large protein complex involved is ADP synthetase. It is the complex that makes ADP. Process begins with NADH produced by glycolysis and TCA cycle. This NADH oxidizes to NAD+ and donate 2 electrons to the electron transport chain. These 2 electrons get passed between the complexes and finally expected by the oxygen and with couple of proteins, and this produces water. As the electrons are passed between the complexes, they pass protons out of the mitochondrium matrix into the inner membrane space. Complex 1 pumps out 4 protons, complex 3 pumps out 4 protons, complex 4 pumps out 2 protons. Same process takes place for FADH2. Altogether 16 protons are passed to the inner membrane space. The passed protons float back according to electrochemical gradient via the ADP synthetase. For each 4 protons that flow through ADP synthetase, 1 ADP is produced. Considering the ADP yield per sucrose molecule. In glycolysis, through 4 substrate level phosphorylations 4 ATPs are produced. Here 1 NADH produces 1.5 times ADP. So, 4 NADH produce 6 ADP. In citric acid cycle, through substrate level phosphorylations 4 ATPs are produced. Here 1 FADH2 produces 1.5 ADP, so 4 times 1.5, 6 ATPs, and 1 NADH produces 2.5 ATPs, so 16 times 2.5, 40. So altogether 60 ATPs are produced.
Create created using Powtoon.